Hi everyone, welcome to Patricia on Brand. I'm Patricia and today we're diving right into something really exciting. Whether you are new to Canva or looking to up-level your skills, this tutorial is going to walk you through an image in text using Type Cutout feature in Canva. Now, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to add your own image into text and make it look absolutely amazing step by step. And trust me, it is way easier than you think. Plus, I'll share some pro tips along the way to help you get the most out of this tutorial. But before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so whenever I upload a new tutorial, you'll get that notification. Ready to get started? Let's jump right in. So the first thing that you want to do is start with a blank frame, and I started with a frame that is 3000 by 3000 pixels. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and change the color, the background color, to a color that I know that I want to use for the background. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is upload the image that we want to use. For me, I already know the image that I'm going to use, so I have it uploaded here. And I'm going to insert that there. And I am going to remove the background. So now that the background is actually removed, I am going to duplicate this actual image. So now I have two. I'm going to place them back one on top of another, make sure that they're both centered. I'm going to grab it and enlarge it just a little bit. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to create a front. I'm going to split the image in half. So with the top image, I'm going to go ahead and move this over until it actually hits the center. Now, when you see the line, the nice bright pink line in the center from top to bottom, you know that you've hit the center. So what I'm going to do is this particular image itself, I'm going to lock it so that way that doesn't move. Now I'm going to go to the other image that's underneath it, and I'm going to drag that one to the center. And once it hits the actual center of the page, you see the bright pink line in the middle. That indicates that that one is at the center. So I have one image there and one image there, and both are actually locked. I'm going to check just to make sure. So I'm going to go to position and I'm going to go to layers, and in my layers panel I'm going to go here and actually lock the image. Here I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to go to this second one here, and I'm going to lock that as well. And I'm doing this primarily for the purpose of actually checking the image and making sure that they're both aligned, even though they're now two separate images. But what I want to make sure is that they both align perfectly in the center. And when you look at it, you can't even tell that it's two separate images. Okay? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and unlock both of them. That's the first. That's the second. And this one, I'm going to move all the way over to the edge. And this one, I'm going to create a duplicate file. Move that down. I'll delete this one off of here. And I'm going to move this one all the way to the edge. Now, this one is the image that we're actually going to use when we now create the text that we need to create. So I just want to make sure that I'm actually in the center of the page. So now we have this one centered. Okay, so what you want to do now is that you want to download this actual file. So now we're going to download this file. So this is image number 4. Okay, so I'm going to download that one and then go ahead and actually upload it to my uploads. Okay, so now I'm going to go here, upload this one. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go back to the other one once this is actually uploaded. All right, so now we have that here. I'm gonna delete this because we don't need it. All right, so now I'm going to go back to this image here, which is the front of the face, right? And then now we have this one that has actually been uploaded. So now the next thing that we want to do, we're going to add the text. So what you want to do is when you're adding the text, you're going to go to your apps panel and you're going to look for type cutout. That's where you're going to find the actual text. This is what it looks like. So once you click on there, it's going to open up the panel for type cutout, and you're going to actually type the verbiage that you want on your actual image. So for me, I am going to put in all caps, "The devil is a liar." Okay, so that's what I want. The font that I want to use is the Beavis font. This one. Okay. I'm gonna leave the height there the same. If you look at the preview area here and you move the line height, it actually creates space between each line. For me, for the purpose of this, I'm going to keep it at 3.6 because I like the small space in between them. And then what I'm going to do is actually upload the image that I downloaded before. So I'm going to go ahead and upload that. Okay, so now that has been added onto the actual font, and you can see the preview here. The next thing that I'm going to do is actually hit here where it says start edit mode. Okay, and what I want to do is the picture of the girl, I want to drag it all the way over to the edge of my text, right? Because when I'm done, what I'm going to do is match it with the front of her face now. Okay, so this is exactly where I want it to be. I'm going to hit finish editing. Now that I'm finished, I'm going to go ahead and add it to my design. So I'm going to add it here. I'm going to stretch it open. I'm going to add it here, right? So this is where it kind of gets a little tricky because you want to kind of size it to this to match the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the background, I'm going to change it back to white so that way you can see the actual letters better. Let's shrink this a little more so that way this all fits here. And now I'm going to adjust the front of her face to match here. And this is where you have to kind of play around with it a little bit to kind of get it aligned as much as you can. I think it's perfect there. Right? All right. Now, the next thing that I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and group these together. And I'm just going to shrink it just a little. Because what I want to do is I want to add some extra elements to it. All right, perfect. So now I'm going to ungroup it. So the first part here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add an outline, because I feel sometimes when you actually add an outline to your actual design, it helps in allowing that design to kind of pop a little better. So I'm going to add an outline. I'm going to change the color to one of the colors that I see that's in the design, like the yellow. Let's do all right, so we'll do this. I'm going to copy the hex code, right? And then I'm going to, the thickness of the line, I'm going to make it smaller. Because I want it there to pop, but I don't want it to be too big, where it's kind of like overpowering. So I'll keep it at size 8. And then now for her, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the outline again, change it to that gold, paste that here. So it's the same gold. And then I'm going to take it down to an 8. Okay, so it's the same size. Now, the other thing that I want to do, you see where there's some harsh lines here at the bottom? I want to kind of blend it a little better so that way it's a better flow there. So what I'm going to do is, let's exit out of here because we're finished with the actual text. We're going to go back up to our elements panel. Let's go to our elements, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some, this is like a watermark blur that I want to add with some of the colors that you see in her scarf. So I'm going to add, just to kind of add some, it'll kind of hide that the line. And I'm going to add this white on top of it. Again, that'll kind of help to hide some of the line, right? So you don't see the harshness of it as much. Let's make this a little smaller. I'm going to duplicate that, right? And this one I'm going to bring forward. So I'll just kind of like rearrange that. And then what I'll do is all of this, I'm going to put it behind the actual text. Perfect, right there. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some paint splash on top. And let's change that to the color that's actually in the font, and maybe add some more paint splatter. Let's add this one, right? And then I'll change this color to maybe the green, because this green is actually in there as well, right? And I'll do maybe one more in the yellow. Let's do, I like this bright yellow. Let's make this really small. Add that here. Right? All right, so that's looking pretty good. The last thing I want to do is add the I want to add some text at the bottom, and that is actually for the, this is the viral clip that's been going around with "the devil is a liar, yeah, 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 yeah." So I want to add that on the bottom here. So let's add that. I'm going to change the font to the Beavis font. Let's do this one, right? Make that pretty big. Let's add, let's make this yellow. Let's make it this one. And then we're going to go ahead, we're going to add this element, the music notes. Let's add some music notes there. And let's make that yellow as well. All right. So I'm going to do maybe about 4 of them. Let's group, and then we're going to duplicate. Duplicate, duplicate. Okay, so with each one, rotate that. This one, I'm going to rotate it, but I'm going to make it a little smaller. This one, let's rotate that. And this one, same thing. Rotate, and I'm going to make this a little smaller as well. Then I'm going to grab them, center it a little better here, right? And that'll go there. And I think it looks really good like that, but real simple, real easy, quick way to actually do your image inside of the text, and that's how you get it. I hope you was able to kind of follow along, and I hope you're able to replicate it. Please leave your comments at the bottom and continue to follow me for more tutorials like this for Canva. Thanks, and see you next time.